Hello, my name is Tristan Lewis, and today I'll be going over my supersets presentation. And just to give you a little bit more information, of how we're going to be dealing with my client. So first overview on my client is a 16-year-old boy. He's a high school football player. He's probably going into his sophomore or junior year, I believe. And, he came to me and he has a goal of just building overall strength, without, overly putting too much pressure or too much overload on his joints because he's still young. So we don't want to put too much, work on him. So some of his main goals, once again, to build overall strength, improve his muscular endurance. So whether that's just supersetting kind of puts a lot of work, because it's double, so it puts a lot of work on, your muscles. But we're also going to have a little downtime with that, with the rest and recovery. Also promoting good technique. He's young. He has aspirations to playing college football. So having great technique also can, keep you on the field longer because you'll be less injured. You'll be on the field more. You'll be more in shape. And supersets also kind of help with just efficient time. You kind of knock it out a little bit faster. So as he starts with the warm-up, he starts off small, works up his body before he gets into high-intensity workouts, his main component workouts. So for the workout recovery ratio, we're going to, like I said, he's young, he's 16, so we're probably going to go about a minute 30 on to maybe 45 seconds to a minute off, I would believe. Or just a 1-to-1 ratio, 2-to-1 ratio, 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. I think that would help. So once again, we're trying to prevent injuries because he's still a young kid. So also a goal, once again, building strength for him. He's a football player, so he has to get strong, but you also can get strong being safe. So some of them we're going to do, like the agonist and antagonist. We're going to do paired squats and quads. While those are fired up working on the main component, on some of the goblet squats we're going to have the lunges, the lateral lunges or the forward lunges. For the hammies, those are going to be resting, and then we're going to superset that and put them on the walking lunges. You can go dumbbells with them or not. If not, it's his preference first, and then we will do dumbbells either the following week or after. But for this starting, we're going to just start him off, get his body going. And the choice of weights for him, he's not too big, so we would just going to start about 10, 15, 20-pound dumbbells. Once again, 16-year-old kid. The rep max for him, we're going to go about 8 to 12 reps max. We don't want to overdo it in 15, 20 knockout, pump it out, but you also don't want to do a small amount. So about 8 to 12, normally I'd go to about right in the middle, about a 10 rep max, 10 rep range for some of these exercises because I think that would be pretty beneficial and not too much, once again, overload, but not too much, deloading. The intensity, we're going to be very moderate. We're going to get some good work in. Once again, get a good sweat. We're going to work out. But it's just going to be about a 60 to 75, 70% intensity. So, he'll be working. But really, like it's going to be 60, 70%. So we're going to be really focusing on technique also. So, because that, like I said, that helps with injuries. Helps prevent injuries. The movement pace, will be moving about 2 seconds eccentric and 2 seconds concentric. That kind of helps with proper control. Proper technique, once again, prevents injuries, so that really helps. Safety measures, so how I'll be kind of monitoring safety, I guess, with the proper warm-ups. First, the warm-up is the most important part of your workout because it sets up, the workout. You can't just jump straight off the highest bridge or off the highest diving board and you haven't started on the baby, so it just kind of sets up the intensity. It kind of ramps up your body. You wake up, it's like a good morning shock. It's like you drink some coffee in the morning. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna supervise the weights. Once again, I've mentioned about multiple times, he's a 16-year-old kid. He's not at that college level body yet, but he's past his young small body. So we're gonna supervise his weights. What he can do. We're not gonna try and go for rep max, get bulky. We're just trying to go for safety, but also, intensity, so it helps. Maintaining good form. Maintaining good form is very important, once again, because you don't want your back sluggish. You don't want to do exercises wrong where it's like, it's hurting doing. You don't want to be hurting doing these exercises. You know, obviously you're gonna feel some pain because you're doing workouts, but it really helps. My measurements also heart rate. I'm gonna be measuring his heart rate. Because like I said, these kind of intensified workouts, 60 to 70%, you know, you'll be picking up. So those will really help. I'll be measuring his heart rates during these. Then after all that, bring it back down, cool down stretching, or cool down my cool down components, like light jogs, about 5 to 7 minutes. That also help a little bit with his cardio, his endurance, but also just kind of cooling him down. You know, quad stretching right after, hip stretching, back stretching. You know, football players take a lot of heat. So some of the recovery stretches, lateral lunges, once he brings down all these high intensity main components, he'll be going from he'll be going from dumbbell squats to all these rows, dumbbell rows, and these are all supersetted once again. So these are quick, in and out, a minute off, maybe 45 seconds on off. So they'll be going pretty fast, but that means your body will be pretty ramped up. So I think that'll really help. And then, like I said, at the end, we'll kind of bring it back down. Like I said, at the end, 2 to 3 minute walk after he does his stretches, you know, just kind of walk it off, make sure your body feels great. And that's all we have for my client today. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you guys for listening. And thank you so much. Tristan Lewis, Supersets.